You need something for you to be proud of. Something that you put your effort into. And that could be your job. It's not for me. But the other day, I'm going to tell you, I built my first Gundam.
Hey, welcome to the Above Average Scrubs podcast. I'm your host, Darius, joined today by my two co-hosts, Randy and Leon. What's happening, fellas?
Yo, what's up? It's Randy.
Yo, what's up?
This
it's
music's
Leon.
loud as fuck.
I'm fucking excited about this.
Oh, the first video! But, you know, we had to keep it special too. Backed by popular demand.
No, it's black by
You're
popular
right.
demand.
Black by popular demand. Simone.
Hello.
How's it
They're
going?
holding me hostage. Please send the ransom to my Cash App.
Oh, wow.
Wow, what's your cash app?
Check the link in the description below for her Cash App. We'll be...
Definitely. Help.
All right, so just to let y'all know, I will be in and out making mojitos for the boys because I want to be.
You're really gonna make those
on
mojitos?
our first podcast. Yeah, I'm gonna make mojitos.
Oh shit, you for real?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Well,
All right.
Let's
so
be
we ready?
nice.
I'm ready for this topic.
no, let's get started.
All right,
let's get
let's go.
started. All right, so our first topic, we'll talk about AI.
Talk about AI.
Yeah, let's talk about AI. You know, it's been popping off lately and all that good stuff.
It has. So where we starting? We starting on the chat. We're starting on robots. We're starting on.
Well, you know, we
images.
got all these different apps and stuff like that. We
Yeah.
can talk about.
Oh shit, music change.
Let's see. What else? What can we talk about? Let's talk about. Let's talk about what Simone's here for.
Let's talk about Dolly and all the image generation. Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. The whole concept of it, people have been crying about robots replacing our jobs for like decades, you know. But this suddenly seems like it's such a I don't understand what you're crying about. But I think in general, you know, AI is a slippery slope that we as humans should tread lightly over, especially when it comes to like art, because I don't know, like it's just showing people. I don't know. I haven't been liking the way that people have been responding to artists who are trying to, like, you know, share their plights about like why ethically this isn't really okay, you know. Even before all the big news started coming out about them stealing art from like what's Art Station and people's signatures even showing up on generated pieces and stuff. It's so it's disheartening for sure.
So I guess my question to you is, personally, how do you feel about AR as a concept and as a tool, and the goods and the bads?
Oh, well, okay. So is this, you guys have that art on your wall, right?
Yeah.
Behind you. This is all made by a person.
Yep.
Why did you buy this?
For the person.
For the person. Like, you cared about the art, you cared about the person, you wanted to support their endeavors.
Yeah. I enjoyed the art, but then I also enjoyed the person. So like, it was a twofold. Like, why would I not buy this?
Right.
Yeah, like whenever you like go to like an art auction or art gallery or something, you buy a piece to pretty much flex that artist to other folks.
Yeah. I mean, because who's flexing the Mona Lisa if they don't know who it's by?
Yeah. Who made the Mona Lisa?
It's just a lady.
You don't know who made the noise?
Nah, I'm fucking, bro.
Oh shit, I thought you were serious.
All right,
Y'all were so ready to believe my dumb ass too. Fuck y'all.
I mean, you got a track record, my guy.
Well, fuck y'all.
I just watched The Glass Onion.
But,
Did
yeah.
you guys see that movie yet?
Yeah.
Oh, the newest one? Not yet.
It's good. I really recommend it. But
good.
it's
I like the. I'm loving the series.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
It's a good series.
That's just a thing, the Mona Lisa and all that jazz. But anyway, this point, art, and why people buy art to either, sometimes you like somebody's style and sometimes you like want to support this individual, but that's the whole thing about art is that it's made by people. There's lots of things that can be made by machines, and there's lots of things that are made by machines. But art, that I think that just the concept of calling it AI art's kind of skimmy to me. I don't even call it AI. It's AI generated images, you know, and everybody
Right, okay, very
has
true.
62 fingers, and the feet always look weird, and it's cool. And I think that the concept of generating images in that kind of capacity is a useful tool for churning out like ideas, right? Generating concepts on a mass scale. That's amazing. The kind of things that in the right hands, the level of creativity that could be put forward and modified for grandiose scales of fantastical imagery, but maybe not at the cost of a people's livelihood, just to turn around and demean it because they think that artists are just being prima donnas about the whole thing. Like, that's something that people have said, and that's just like, the fuck?
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's coming from people that don't buy art probably, and are not graphic designers and do anything that comes with creativity and creating images. But I feel like the people that want stuff done correctly, like if you really want an image of, you know, a cat riding a bike, and you ask DALL-E to do it, it's going to give you plenty of images. But then you're going to be like, but I also want the cat to be this, or I want this change a little bit right here, or can you change all this to be this? And like, sure, AI is going to be eventually able to do that, but it's not going to be able to do it in the detail that a person could, because they can understand you and also put their own creativity behind that request.
But people don't want that.
So tell me,
you would think that that's what people want, but people don't want that. People want to put $4 to $8 into a generator and get 100 images that they could pick 6 from.
But you're talking about the people that have been using it, and I know that some of those people may be clients, but I don't feel like most of those people are. Because if you think about it, if they're willing to pay, if they're paying $4 to $8, the people that pay $4 to $8 to do that is probably not the same people that paid $150 to $300 for like the stuff that's behind.
Sure.
It. They're not going to be doing.
Sure. But they're also contributing that $4 to $6 on a massive scale to a corporation or a company or a design, and those people go to their people and they're like, look at these numbers, look what we can do. We can, if you fund us, we can make all of this stuff happening. Now look at all these things you can still do for only $4 to $8. You know, I really hate to quote a fucking Incredibles villain, but people will choose convenience over quality every time. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to get radicalized, but like,
So here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Not to cut
no,
you
please
off,
do.
but like, I feel that this actually might swing to help artists in a way, right? Because going back to the reason why we buy art in the first place, right, is because we like that artist and so on and so forth, right? So imagine I'm a famous artist, right? And I'm sitting here saying like, hey, I will draw you something, right, an original piece, and I'll have my signature and everything like that, right? I feel like that's going to be more valuable than what an AI can create, right?
Sure.
I mean, because it can't capture all the minuscule brush strokes. I mean, currently anyway, of an artist. It can't, there's some things it just can't really capture. And I feel like that itself is going to actually add more value to you as an artist, right? I'm just thinking, like, for example, like, what if I say, like, oh, and I don't know if it's just because, like, the digital space versus the reality space, the non-digital space, but if I'm like, hey, I'll put a painting on a canvas, or I'll draw you a hand piece painting, I feel like I can say, like, okay, I can value this painting at, like $200, $300, $400, even $1,000, because you can't get this. This can't be generated by AI.
Sure. But that kind of all of that is a super valid point. But the issue is that you started this with, you're a famous painter.
Okay.
And that's why you can
For
sell it
people
for
like
that
trying
much.
to,
Because your name is on
yeah,
it.
but for people
you
like
yourself
trying to,
are the value that you're putting on this thing. You know what I mean?
right?
And that's a hard thing
So like
for.
for
Yes, go ahead.
artists,
Sorry, I'm sorry.
no, you're good. I keep trying to cut you
Mm-mm.
off because I'm disrespectful. But like, for a lot of internet artists or people who like work based off commissions, they aren't famous.
Right.
Name one.
See, Sue.
I mean, but I'm not in the art sphere. I can't.
No, but
I
like
can't tell you.
we've commissioned shit. There are people who've done like.
Besides Simone, that's the only person I can tell
That's
you.
just because
Like,
she's our friend. Like that's how hard. That's already the barrier they got.
Mm.
I can't recall a single person off of DeviantArt that I sent my commissions off to.
so
AI generators. Yes. Oh no,
He's talking loud.
my bad. I'm just loud. My bad.
No,
Shit.
you're
This
good.
is
You're
new.
good. Go
I'm
off.
sorry,
Go
guys.
off. Go off. Go off.
Yes, but but yeah, so like with AI image art generators, it's just like fucking done. I don't have to research and go through like people's portfolios to see if they're going to be able to do this shit. I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
go talk to somebody. It's like going to the bank nowadays. You ain't got to even talk to nobody no goddamn more because no one wants to talk to nobody. So if you can take away the human element, people are going to go for that all the time. So to try to think that AI generators are going to help artists like differentiate their art, it's really not. It's just going to take away
It's optimistic,
the
and I appreciate
work. No, we don't. It's fucking.
Well, but okay, but I do think. Hey! I think though that you're both right. You're both right because for the time being, this is going to be pretty detrimental for people. But I am hoping that the pendulum will eventually swing in the other direction.
Well, here's also the thing. I fucked around with some AR generators over the past month.
Yeah.
Them souls suck.
like as far as art, are we talking like? I mean, because I feel like from what I was doing some research earlier, and pretty much they're like people are like, oh yeah, there are some tells as far as like, oh, you can tell this shit is AI generated. Like for example, the hands are always fucked up. The outer edges are just weird looking. Their eyes are like mushed in, like they don't have a fucking light of day, and they've lost all their fucking soul and shit like that. Like. I mean, soulless robot making art. I mean, it kind of makes fucking sense.
At the same time, when you're using these AR generating things, you have to be specific as fuck with what you want. And if you're not a creative person, you don't know what the fuck you want. I went in there and was like, yo, fucking flaming tiger in the sky. And that shit gave me something weird as fuck that didn't resemble a tiger to save my life.
That's so funny.
I should have been like, realistic 4K Unreal Engine tiger with a flame attribute isekai by
I mean, I get that. Like, I mean, I'm just looking to it from an optimistic view. Like, I feel like this is now the time for artists to really start like throwing this shit out there. Like, like, hey, like, like. You can go pay a machine to do this and so on and so forth, but I got that primo shit over here, like this is my block. Like you that's what I'm feeling.
You gotta slang your artist.
It's my God.
Really.
and yeah, that's super, super true. But it's I don't want to say it's easier said than done. But also, yes.
It is easier said than done. That shit's hard.
Right. No, I know, like, promoting is, like, the easiest thing in the world.
But even just production, because you got to remember, production's half the fight. That you can type something in, and maybe it might take you a couple of tries, but at the end of the day, maybe it's going to take you an hour to figure it out. I can't do that. I don't know a lot of people who can.
Fuck, I just spilled on myself.
Aw, baby, need a little bit. Did you get your bib?
I mean...
Baby.
Yeah, I fucked up Leon's carpet.
Oh,
good thing it's clear.
Shit, bro, he gonna smell that shit though.
But so okay, well, tell me this. Do you think it wouldn't be as big of an issue if artists were being compensated correctly based off of their contributions to the learning process.
From who?
These AI corporations.
Yeah, but it may
are-
be so, but artists don't they don't want that. It's the NFT shit all
So-
over again.
Well, okay. I mean, I'm gonna get to that in a second, but what I'm saying is that, well, okay, I guess a clear difference from the NFT stuff, right? Weren't artists able to make contracts to where, you know, they were going to get paid for this stuff compared to where here they're just like, oh, I'm going to DVR and just taking your shit and putting it in the algorithm, you know?
True. Still trash.
Like,
though.
I feel like, and this is just an outsider looking in, I just feel like if they were compensated like they were supposed to be compensated, you know, then I feel like it wouldn't have been as much as a blow and a fucking bomb that got dropped in
Sure,
this
but that
community,
also
because it's
required
like-
that the people even thought that they would get permission and consent, you know? Like, why go through the trouble of stealing someone's art if you thought that they would have said yes? Maybe you didn't think they would have
Yeah.
said yes.
I mean, true. I mean, and I guess my thing is, it's just, I don't want the community to feel that like, oh, this is a hopeless situation where I'm gonna be out of a fucking job. You know?
Oh yeah,
Like,
oh yeah, but I don't. I mean, it's kind of like Leon already said. Like the people who are only caring about paying these $4 to $8, they're not the people who are buying $500 paintings anyway. You know, it's so many layers of working with clients and making art, especially when it comes to commission based work. And that's just like when you're famous, you can draw whatever the fuck you want, people will buy it. You know. And it's tricky to get to that point, but
Oh, shit.
You just said that we're gonna bleep you out. You just
Really?
said it. We're gonna have to bleep you out now.
Oh my
Ah, well, it finally happened. It was
Jeez.
gonna happen eventually.
What's that? Okay, I got the time mark.
Oh, man.
God damn it, Randy.
Well, oh well. But I guess my thing is, I get that though. But
It's like you gave me alcohol, you took away my glasses, I can't see shit, I'm under the
good
influence.
lord.
damn, this is a great mojito.
I want a mojito.
Is that what this is?
Yes.
This
What
shit's
do
strong.
you mean is that what this is? That's all we've been talking
Bro.
about.
That's all we drank in Puerto Rico. Like, what you
Bro,
mean?
I want you. Bro, all I see is gray.
Before we started recording, all we were talking about was mojitos.
You right.
Goodness.
Welcome back to the
But-
planet Earth.
I'm kidding.
But so one of the things I noticed in my research is that people have been using AI generated art and saying, "Oh, these are primo NFTs."
Oh Jesus.
And they've been scamming people off.
Right. So there's go carry on.
Well, and that's why I feel like that's the opportunity, right? Because, for example, let's say, and you have to be a famous person. I mean, if you put your watermark on your shit, and of course, you know, there's things that, you know, get rid of your watermark. But if you're like, oh, hey, you just sold my NFT for what, 15 grand? Yeah, I'm gonna need that shit. Like, and you would be able to provide all the information showing, like, hey, this is my intellectual property.
So you're telling me
Here,
that my
here, here.
opportunity is to go to court?
I mean, yeah, like, rob these people. Like,
Well-
fuck- I mean, if they're gonna rob you, rob them back. I mean, granted, you know, that's
I'm all
easier
for
said than
running
done.
pockets. But yo,
I'm just saying, run they shit.
I think something that people need to also consider is because of the whole AI art generating thing. It's like online images or created images are gonna be devalued by a shit ton because it's like you can't verify
True.
like a decent AI art generator. If you give it the right prompts, it'll be harder for the average person like ya boy to differentiate between like
Mhm.
original art and AI art. So I'm not gonna pay top dollar. Like I'm not gonna be one. It's like that look because as a customer, I can be like, that looks like something I can get out of what was that one that you guys done?
Dolly.
Dolly. That looks like something I can get out of Dolly. I don't need to actually pay you like the 50, 100 that you're saying.
But they're already doing that shit now. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I feel that
So everybody stop paying top dollar for this shit.
Well, I'm saying I feel like if people get scammed enough, they're gonna be like, "Oh, okay."
Stop getting scammed on the internet.
I'm
Remember
really
AOL?
But I'm just saying, I feel like if they get scammed enough, they're gonna start looking like, "Oh, well, maybe I should actually reevaluate myself. Maybe I should actually go to an artist and like really appreciate the shit that they're doing." Because I've already gotten scammed 5, 10, 15 times already. Like, because I got sold Picasso when it's actually like, I don't know, like Jimmy on the side.
It's a pistachio.
But
exactly.
as a person who gets scammed repeatedly, you're now going to have a certain level of risk aversion. So you've been approaching people trying to get original artwork.
Yeah.
You've been scammed every single fucking time.
Yeah.
So at what point is someone going to be honest?
Well, you gotta go to the artist, because I guarantee
The artist can still throw an AI shit at you if you like. Okay,
but
Simone.
that's the thing though about an artist. An artist has too much fucking integrity.
No.
I do believe
You
that.
started this thing talking
But
about.
wait. What?
One at a time, boys. One at a time, boys. Talk
Sometimes
about
we
it.
put us in the fucking camera. Like we don't know how to act anymore.
It's
Like,
all right. It's all right.
No. But like here's the scenario. Here's the scenario. Simone, I ask you to do something for me. It's you're gonna charge me. You quote me at $150, $180.
Okay.
I haggle. I give you a hard time.
Mm.
I only want to pay $50.
Mm-hmm.
What's stopping you from just going to an AR generator and just pumping something out and throwing it at me for $50? Because I didn't want to pay you the full price.
That's okay. Let her answer. Go ahead.
Well, I guess there's within us is two wolves. How how much of a quote unquote starving artist am I at the time? Because
you're all starving artists because AI is taking your shit.
Because just the fact that I'm even having a conversation with someone who's talking to me like this, and I'm still even entertaining the concept of doing a commission for them, means that I'm pretty down bad.
Okay, fair point. Points are fair.
Like I said, there's integrity and there's pride, but there's also the part of me that wants to survive. So I don't know if I have an answer for that. I mean, like you said, but that's me. You guys know me. I don't think I'm the person that Ants asked that question to. I'm a Hufflepuff.
You're right.
Okay, so this is. Let's go back to what Randy said about how when he used the generator, he didn't have the words to get what he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big deal because you, Simone, are going to have the words for what you want.
You have the words.
Like, at least close to it. Right? You're going to know, I want this lighting, I want shades here, I want... Like, you're going to know words that we don't know. But what?
She doesn't need to because ChatGPT can give you the words.
Yes, but also, those still won't be the right words. You'll still be like, oh, that's not quite what I want. Because you can ask ChatGPT, but then it's going to be like, okay, here's some words. Hope these are right.
No, ChatGPT is actually pretty fucking useful,
like,
actually.
That's not right. Give me another one. And they'd be like, okay, what about this? And that's not quite, I didn't get what I wanted out of Dolly still. And you're either going to be like, I guess I'll take this one for pennies on the dollar, or you're going to be like, let me go to an artist, ask them what I want, ask them to revise it, pay them the money. Like, I understand that it's going to take away the small people that don't know that can't pay or don't want to pay, but it's not going to take away the people that have the means to pay and want it done right.
Okay, I'll concede.
So it sounds like to me that digital art may decline in value while I guess analog
physical mediums?
Yeah, physical mediums would be on the rise.
I know words too.
Yes, very true, but also people doing the digital art is still going to be necessary.
Yeah, definitely.
In some kind of way.
Okay.
Because what I think the big thing about AI art is you can't just tell it to change this little thing, and I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. It's going to be so hard.
You have to re-enter the
ask
entire thing
Simone,
all
she'll
over
do
again.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that Control-C, Control-V on like.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's true.
I think what I'm genuinely the most frustrated about with this whole AI thing is like I don't know why everybody's getting mad or like earlier you guys were talking about how people were like brushing off artists complaining about this whole situation, but that's just because like AI is now being talked about in like the creative capacity. If we had like did a paradigm shift and threw AI at like jobs, processes, like productivity based things, motherfuckers would be out of a job. Straight up. Like, quote unquote, real jobs that people keep talking about.
So you're talking about like animators and stuff like that?
No, I'm talking about like fucking
electrical engineers.
Electrical engineers.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, my job probably could be.
I'm just saying,
fucking
like, there
say
are jobs
that.
that could be automated.
Don't say that.
There are jobs that can be automated by AI, like fucking data entry motherfuckers, anybody who's doing any kind of imaging, like print shops. Like, there are production-based industries that could be affected by AI, but we're like, they're creating stuff for the creative space instead of honestly making shit ton more money going after that. But then I think the counterpoint is so many more people with quote unquote practical skills would be out of a job. I put the quotes there because artists do have practical skills, but not a lot of people want to acknowledge that.
I feel like it's because artists aren't unionized.
Well,
Not a lot of practical people are unionized.
But I'm just saying, though. I feel like because we can always threaten a union.
How would artists unionize?
That's the question, Darius. We're not a...
Paint the picture!
I'm just saying that I feel like it's easier to go into a space where realistically, yeah, they can't unionize compared to like, yeah, we can come to a private sector and this job probably doesn't have a union, but if you get enough people saying, hey, we're about to take your fucking job, they're gonna be like, oh, nah, fuck that. Like, we're gonna make a union. So, you know, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that's easier to do instead of, like, to go into a space where that shit's not gonna exist in the first place.
You're right. But I feel like because of how American capitalism runs, it's easy to get past the fucking union.
So that's my next point. That's my next point. One, is capitalism really just the whole problem when it comes to art in the first place?
Well, capitalism is the whole reason why people can even make living as an individual artist. That's fact. Like, if you build it, they will come. As an individual, like, being able to have your own job and be an entrepreneur and have your own business and sustain yourself the way that you do. Like, that's kind of like that's the whole point, right? That's the whole fucking dream nowadays, right? But
at this point, like for individual artists of capitalism isn't necessary.
But it's exactly, that's exactly it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not drunk.
All right, so
you said that.
That started out. Well, all I remember because I had something to say. Randy's talking about how it's replacing jobs. I'm telling you right now, I went to ChatGPT because I didn't want to write out the code. Even though I know how to write out the code, I asked exactly what I wanted. It gave me that code almost way too perfect.
Oh no!
And I was like, well, I have a private. This is my private project. It's not my work stuff, right? So I'm just like, okay, copy paste, perfect. It works well. Yes, I still had to like edit some shit because it didn't quite work with my code. Yeah. But
you had like a good foundation to work on.
It gave me a fucking great foundation, and that's why I don't think I'm going to be out of a job soon because I still had to go like, can you change this? Can you type this? Can you do this? And it did it, but it's still things that I have to tell it.
Yeah, but that did cut like the amount of time you would have had to do it by a lot.
It's a tool and not like a replacement, at least not yet.
Right. But think about how quickly compared to if you had to do that with a person.
Well, yes, but also think about how if you asked it to do the same things, you wouldn't get the same outcomes as I typed in. Like if you asked it to create the app that I want to create, you wouldn't know the first step of what language to use, how to organize the files, how to test it, how to create tests for those files. Like you wouldn't know how to tell it to do that and then be like, oh, there's this error here. How do I fix that? Maybe it could tell you, but then you would still have to insert the code in the correct way. Like that's so much that has to be done and still knowledge that I have that not everyone has that makes it not going to replace my job. And that's why I don't think it's going to replace artists in a big way.
There's a person that's already like near completion, or I think she was working on how
There's a person near
creating,
completion. Oh, sorry.
like she's working on a software that recognizes ChatGPT work and backtracks it.
Yeah.
Like, and so it just breaks it
so
back
it
down.
runs an algorithm to
to go backwards to get to your
but
source.
I feel like that's the only way you can really legitimate that. Just like how you have like when you have artifacts, right? And people look and go, "Oh, okay, is this the real thing?" I feel like that's the only thing you're going to be able to do to legitimize digital art again.
That person's going to make bank.
Oh, they're about to blow the fuck up. They saw there was a market and they're about to blow the fuck up. But it's funny because they started saying that
GPT.
GBT.
GP.
Yeah, you know me.
God. Like they've been going to they've been saying that it's pretty much the new check. Like when it comes to colleges, it's definitely the new check, and they're like, if pretty much, computer science majors have been like, oh shit, like it writes code, bet, like, and they'll just go in like just do it, and it's funny. Because it's like, they're like, oh, we catch you using it. But it's like, how do you really catch it? Because it's like, you can't say it's wrong.
Yeah.
You can't say, yo, you're cheating because you got it right. And it's like, so how the fuck do you catch? Like, unless you were literally sitting there at the test and I'm like, oh, I'm about to do
that again, like, if you really want to go the college route of doing computer science.
Yeah. And
it's time for the test. And they're like, hey, no computers, literally write down your code on the piece of paper, which is what we had to do.
Yo, you're fucked.
You're fucked. So you might as well, like, you'll learn this.
You're gonna write down when you press the enter
right.
key.
I forgot we had to do that shit. You're right. We really did have to write that shit out.
Exactly. And that's how you'll learn and, like, keep the knowledge that I have. Like, you'll have to do it.
Well, there you go. I guess that answers the question as far as the technical field. It can't really, because at that point, if you don't know your code and shit like that, people are going to find that out at job interviews. They're going to say, they're going to,
oh yeah, when they're whiteboarding you on a job, even if it's like code that you can run, like, they're going to be like, yeah, you don't have a thought process behind this, or what is this piece of code doing? Right. Or, yeah, like, it's not, they're not going to get away with it.
That's true.
So on that note, there is a lack of skilled labor. Like, there's a huge shortage of it right now. Because that a lot of people aren't developing skills anymore. They're finding easy shortcuts to do things.
Right.
I've got so much fucking ad to start developing, not developing, investing in a real estate situation, or getting Amazon's little web services to pretty much automate my shit. Like, people are making money without actually having to do shit. I don't know if these ads are real or not. They look like scams to me, but I'm just a normal person, so I don't know. It might work for some of y'all. I don't know.
It might. Yeah. So Simone, I've noticed there have been videos talking about like the mental health of artists in the artosphere. That's what I'm calling it. Right.
The artosphere.
That's better.
Community.
Has that? You can say yeah or nay to this. Has this affected you or anything like that?
Morbidly.
Morbidly. Okay.
Oh yeah, but it's.
Are we interviewing Simone? Is that a thing?
It's one of those things where it's
awesome.
It's like and I think that anybody in any field can understand that to feel depreciated in your skill set. Not even just like, oh, this thing that I love and I'm passionate about, but your skill set, something that you've worked hard to learn and study and even get the confidence to go out and make it a deliverable to the world, right? And for someone in certain fields where your work is already devalued as a hobby or, unproductive or unimportant, if you're small scale of, any kind of artistic endeavor, that doesn't feel like, what am I making art for? Like, I can't even feel proud of myself because the people who are saying that this bot has made greater art than I ever could makes me feel terrible. Like, why am I, like, I look at the work that I do and the hours that I spend, and I'm like, I will never be able to do some of this shit. Ever. 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 You know, and you can say, oh, well, you can study really hard. Yeah, sure. I can learn a whole bunch of shit. But I may never be able to do this thing here that these people want. And that makes me feel, and again, there is the evil part of the necessary evil that is capitalism, is that my productivity and my value are tethered. And the wave of people who have come out to just completely demean, you know, artists, illustrators specifically, that's where the problem really lies. It shows, because despite you guys, as usual, having the understanding and critical thinking of how this is affecting individuals, the mass majority, that's why fast fashion is still such a thing, is that people want convenience and ease. They don't want to negotiate. They don't want to have, they don't want to have to know what they want. They just want it. And if you can't deliver that, they say, you're not worth my money. It's not your art's not worth my money. You're not worth my money. And
I think you should take it as the first. Like, I think definitely you should just take it as the first, because what you're saying is I can't ever make the art that this is making, but that's not what your art is.
Right.
Your art is whatever you can make at that point, and want to make at that point. And if someone says, "Oh, that's cool, let me buy it. How much is it?" Then we can negotiate. Like that's when that's going to happen. But I understand that the masses are really like, this is the same thing I said at the beginning. Like, the masses are going to go for the easy stuff, but the people that really want it done right and want it done in a certain style, and they like your style, they're going to be like, yeah, that's cool. I would love for you to come on the team, or I would love for you to do this thing for me. Or you put out like an ad for yourself on your Instagram and say, oh, this is someone's following you. This is cool. Can you do something for me in this style? Like, that's when you're going to get your commission. And if they can't go to DALL-E and get what you control.
Of course,
like,
yeah.
Even though they are using people's arts for DALL-E, again, they can't get your art. You're not a famous artist. So they can't be like, in Simone's creativity way, do this thing.
Wow.
And even if they have the wherewithal to be like, oh, let me just download a few of the things that she has on her Instagram to the model.
I need a flaming tiger in the sky, Simone style.
Exactly. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
it's not going to be how you're going to do it. And then they're going to be like, oh, it's not quite what I wanted. And they can't ask to change it because they're not talking to a person.
Yeah.
They're talking to something that generates a picture one at a time.
Right. Yeah. And
so
I
think you should just, I'm sorry, I don't mean to say what I think you should like. This is a suggestion. It's advice when it comes to the mentality part of it, because I understand that it hurts to feel like something that already people don't even take seriously is demeaned even more. You should take it as, this is my point where I can really show who I am and what I can do, regardless of the situation around me. Regardless of what's going on around me, and people say that they can get beautiful art on DALL-E. Cool, you can get beautiful art, but can you get my art?
Right. I think Leon's trying to say this is an opportunity to showcase one's individualism and their own style. Because you may not be able to do what DALL-E can do, but DALL-E isn't you. What you make is your style. That's your art.
Yeah, and don't worry about, like, I think you should worry about it when it comes to having conversations. That's the only time you should worry about DALL-E. At the end of the day, you can't control, for the most part, until it's time to have the conversation with people that can change shit, is you just keep doing your art, keep getting better at it, or keep where you are, wherever you want to go, and people are going to like it. People are going to be like, I want this, and I don't want this. I want Picasso, and I don't want whatever the hell this is. Like, they're going to find a point. It's going to be a breaking point of, I'm not getting anywhere. I want this. I want Simone's art. Like that. I want T-Soup's art. Like, I don't think an AI can generate the stuff, and even if it can, it's not going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not going to. I know when the artist sends me the stuff. Besides the scenario Randy said about maybe him going to AI and saying, "Hey, do this." Like, I know that I'm getting T-Soup's art, so I'm really not scared right now about AI art in any way for you guys. I really think it's time for you guys.
Also, is it just me, or does, like, when you see AI art, I'm not excited.
Yes, very true.
I'm not.
That's true.
Like, I'm looking at it. I don't think for a second that it's cool.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It has an air of like genericness to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause that's what
it
it is.
feels so. Like, it's cool that AI can draw all this shit and do all this crap, but I don't ever find the urge. It's like, yo, I want to hang that on my wall.
And honestly, though, it might be our personal experiences with actually being affiliated with the arts. Not necessarily art is in like drawing stuff like that, but we do have some like art background to each one of us. You know, like what I'm getting at is that, like, for example, like we all used to play music, right?
Oh shit, yeah.
So I mean, you think about how we analyze music. When we hear some shit that's like really popping, we're like, oh, that shit's really popping. Like, and I think that's the thing. Like, because at one point in time, we were artists. And I don't think that just because our medium wasn't necessarily paint and colors and everything like that, we're still able to differentiate and bring those characteristics when we're evaluating other forms of art, you know?
And also, I think when it comes to showcasing, people who are excited about AI art, if you put that shit on a wall, I guarantee you that when somebody visits you and be like, hey, yo, where'd you get that? It's like, oh, a computer made that. They're not excited anymore.
We're like, oh, cool.
They check out immediately. They don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah, you can't be like, oh yeah, look at their Instagram. You can't do that.
Yo, check this girl out. Like, look at what she's doing.
Exactly.
I mean, for prime example, whenever people have talked to me at work about our cover art for our thing, they're like, oh, where'd you get that from? I told them, oh, it was commissioned from one of our friends, Simone. Like, and I've actually put her Instagram out there. Like, oh yeah, you know, she has stuff on Instagram. Like, check her out. She does commissions.
Oh, yo, so if this is your first time tuning into us, the artwork for the episodes or for all of our shit, that's done by Black by Popular Demand, also known as Simone.
I'm just gonna legally change my name to Black by Popular Demand.
You should, honestly. but yeah, I mean, I think that's just what it is. Like, I think people are going to start. I think it's just a wave, you know, just like that whole NFT shit. It's just a wave.
Yeah, it's just,
and it's not even a big one. It's just going to go up, and it's going to go down.
Yeah.
And then people are going, because people are like, oh, I feel like people are going to start training their eyes. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, that's AI generated.
Hey, look,
like,
crypto crash, so can this.
Exactly.
And,
you know?
And what's going to happen is it's going to be hard to, because what I think AR art really does well is it could be murals in places, right?
Yeah.
That would look great at the top of a building when you walk inside with the AI art. But who's going to draw it?
That's going to have to be an artist.
It's going to have to be an artist. Like there's no other person. So, like, we're still going to have to get an artist unless you make an AI robot that does it, which is going to take a lot of money and a lot of time to even make.
Right.
Like, it's going to have to be an artist.
That's true.
So it's not even. I don't agree with you that it's just going to be a wave and it's going to go away, because it's obviously going to stay. It's going to be a tool in some kind of way. It's going to be a tool.
I think it's going to be used a lot more for reference materials.
Yes.
At the end of the year or by the end of next year. It's pretty much just going to be a place where people can hopefully stop their artist blocks, writer's blocks, stuff like that. Something to just refresh instead of going outside, because that's actually very scary and dangerous right now.
Okay.
Shit. So,
touching grass is a superhuman feat.
God dang.
I need a drink.
Goodness. Question for you. Another question for you.
Yeah.
How do you think the other implementations of AI is going to affect
the art sphere, such as like I heard they were using Chat how the fuck you say it?
GPT.
GPT shit.
Say it with me now.
Power Rangers SPD.
G P
Chat
T.
GBT.
BBC.
SPD Rescue Rangers.
Oh my god. Anyway, people have been using that to learn how to crack e-contracts.
What kind of contracts?
When it comes to e-contracts, like stuff, the embedded contracts that are in NFTs.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like, so do you see that like bleeding over into like, I guess, digital art as far as like, you know, like, oh, I can somehow change.
I mean, no, just because digital art is, regardless of how many layers are being put into it, it's always delivered in a flat file. It's either a JPEG, a PNG, something of that nature.
Yeah, it's not like a running program.
Yeah, you can't get into my layers and warp my
Let's isolate that soundbite right quick of getting into her later.
Yo, stop it.
Leave. Get out. Yeah, like if they're gonna warp something, they're gonna warp what will be my deliverable, unless I don't know how this works because that's not how my brain is wired. I'm over here on the right side with puffy clouds and stuff. By the way, that flaming tiger, it's gonna be marshmallow shaped and it's gonna have a blep face, but the back will be apocalyptic but beautiful as flaming sakura blossoms fall from the sky. Like that's, you know what I mean? Anyway,
can you also have it where like Prince Zuko is bending that shit into reality?
Oh my god, that's so,
wow.
oh my gosh, literally it could just be like Sozin's comet. The tiger is Sozin's comet. I'm so sorry. What were we talking about?
Make it happen. 200 going into your cash app right
What were we talking about? Please get me back on track.
I don't remember.
You can't get that kind of interaction with AI, folks. I'm telling you right now. That was genuine excitement about an upcoming art piece that I am willing to dish out fucking money for because that sounds lit, both figuratively and literally.
No, but look, this is what I'm saying, right? She came up with all those words. Literally, I couldn't say half the words she just said again.
Yeah.
She's the only one that's going to come up with that
Simone
creativity.
Right, proving the point that
the
she's
words.
doing her job.
Yeah,
That's just
I'm good at this shit.
man.
like.
So okay, so here's I got
derailed.
Here's another question. I mean, how do y'all feel about that Chat GPT is being used to write scripts and starting like have people like when they're starting to write novels and stuff like that to get ideas and so on and so forth. Like, how do you, for example, let's say I tell Chat GPT like, hey, write me a whole novel about this one fantasy setting and this fantasy setting with this characteristic and that characteristic, right? And it writes it. And let's just say it's halfway decent, and I submit it to an editor. Yeah. Do I get those royalties, or does the company do?
You do. And the only reason I say that is because why did ChatGPT do it? Because you asked for it.
It's like you using a pencil and paper to write the story.
It's a
You're
tool.
not paying the pencil and paper company the money. Those are still tools that you use to make it.
Yeah.
So can I say I'm a writer though?
Yeah, you're a writer.
Yes, you can, because you still came with that creativity.
I mean, Drake still says he's a writer, so.
Yikes! Yes, they're not all.
Bro, I don't want 21 to come after me.
But he can do something
on
for
his behalf.
They're not all your words, yes, but they are part of your ideas.
Yes.
And I think, I don't know, I just thought about this, is that people say that DALL-E and all these AI generating art things are stealing people's stuff, like artist styles. That is what artists do. Where do artists get their ideas?
Yeah, there's this thing called
there's always inspiration to muse.
Exactly.
There's always
it's
going to be a muse.
inspiration for chat, whatever, DALL-E, Chat GPT. It's inspiration. Where does the writer get his ideas for writing. He watches movies. He reads scripts. He reads books. Like, it's doing it faster, sure, but it's still not going to have that creative element that we want personally from you writing your comment or Simone drawing her whatever it is that she's drawing, right? Mm-hmm. It's never going to have that. But with the right people asking the right questions or telling the right things to the AI, that's inspiration. It's a good starting point. It's so much more. It means so much more in the right hands than me trying to do it.
So I would deserve a Pulitzer if I.
No, you already said straight out the gate that it was mediocre writing.
Like, yeah, it's going to be mediocre. And even if they get better, even
like
if
you said,
better,
it's like you put something into ChatGPT, it spits out something halfway decent, and you're just like, you know what, I'm going to submit that.
Yeah.
You weren't even proud of it. You're not getting a Pulitzer.
Okay.
Yeah. And even if you do, how good are you going to feel? Sure, you got a few bucks off of it, but how good are you going to feel? At the end of the day, you're going to be like, oh, well.
And that's the whole concept is the reason why I feel that artists shouldn't be defeated by this, because at the end of the day, the organicness is not, it's not fulfilling, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's why, I think at the end of the day, people, when they start consuming this AI art, they're going to start eventually realizing, like, there's no volume, there's no substance, there's no this, there's no that, there's no inspiration, there's and you know, it's like, they're going to feel like, because now that because really, if you think about it, AI art is just people really just dipping their toes into the art world. But not really, they don't really know what art is. I mean, you can ask half the people who would download AI art and say, hey, have you actually been to an art museum? They're probably like, no. Like, I've never been to one. You know?
Exactly.
So, I feel like as they start consuming that material, and they say, okay, I am going to go look at a Picasso. Like, they're in real life, and they go to an art museum, they're like, oh, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
I think this became a mental health conversation.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
like,
our podcast usually does end up.
Right. So going back to episode 1 about how I kind of told everybody in the whole wide world to create, just to make something.
Yeah.
Because you need that. Everybody needs to make something, whether you do it for money or not. You need to make something, because the rest of your time you're working or you're sleeping and you're surviving. There's no fulfillment in that kind of lifestyle. You need something for you to be proud of, something that you put your effort into, and that could be your job. It's not for me. But the other day, I'm gonna tell you, I built my first Gundam.
Oh,
Really?
We got from that white elephant party that me and Leon were
What
at.
model was it? What frame was it?
Huh?
What frame was it? I'm sorry, I'm just a nerd.
I don't know. It was
Okay, never mind. Anyway, go ahead. Like,
bro, I'm not into that.
I'm just saying. I just didn't know if it was red flame, blue frame, wait. Anyway, go ahead.
Red flame, blue frame. What you want? What you want with me?
I used to know.
I told them I was colorblind earlier. Anywho, it was an easy grade, something like literally like simple, follow the directions, pop in. But I built that shit, and the little kiddo was watching me the entire time. And after I was done, he's just like, "That was really cool."
Aww.
And I was like, "Right? That was 2 hours." And I love this shit. It's so easy. Like hardcore Gundam builders will be like, that's not like real grade, heavy duty, whatever the fuck. I was like, fuck y'all. I'm proud of this. I'm not making money off this. I'm just happy I did it. That feels good.
Oh, that's actually another question I want to lead into.
But yeah, make something. Once you take away the elements of like creating something, yeah, it's easy to type shit in and get something back, but it's not fulfilling. You're just now wasting time. You're not learning a skill. You're not developing something. You're not doing something you're proud of. And it's like watching. After you do it, you're just like,
I need a drink.
Okay. Like, this isn't where I thought it was going.
Everybody was on.
Heard it here first.
Jesus. I mean,
you had me in the first half, Randy.
Self-expression.
Go
I mean,
out there into the world and make
that's
some
true.
And be more original with it, please.
That's when we tired of the stepfather and stepdaughter shit.
Honestly, why is that the most watched content in America?
Yo, that says a lot about America, right?
Real. I hate it, bro. I hate it here sometimes. Bro, y'all are disgusting.
I would love to just not talk about that anymore.
I mean,
it's also creative, I guess.
My last question for you, Smile.
I don't even remember if I answered your last question.
You did, because I moved on.
Was it the one about mental health?
No, it wasn't mental health. Well, she answered that question. Okay. Do you think this will cause artists to develop different, or start developing skills in different mediums? You know, like, you know, if my skill set is in digital art, is it going to force me to like start going into, you know, sculptures?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna dabble in other mediums, you do that anyway. You should do that anyway. Dabbling in other mediums makes you a better artist. My digital art definitely improved once I got better at watercolor. Like, my ability to work with markers got better when I got back on digital, and then my digital got better because I was doing more painting, you know, stuff like that. But I don't really think that people will kind of like jump ship. But I think maybe it could encourage people to, you know, take a break from what they're used to and branch out into new things. I always have to take breaks from doing digital because most of my commissions are digital because nobody ever wants my traditional art. And it burns me out on it in terms of that. And it kind of takes me a little bit longer to pick my tablet back up and kind of work on that again. But that just kind of makes me, okay, well, I'm going to change gears and just do some marker illustrations for a couple of weeks. It doesn't mean that I'm going to leave it forever and that my entire thing is going to be that. But something that I've learned from meeting other artists recently and myself being introduced to the artosphere, which I think is actually a pretty banging name. Can I steal that actually?
Absolutely, it's yours.
This is content we created. This is you.
You have
intellectual
intellectual rights to this.
But I think I'm gonna make a shirt.
Royalty.
You can just join a group and then you get paid off.
Stop it! They're holding me hostage, guys. Please send the ransom to my Cash App account. Also,
Anyways.
while I have the thought to say this, listeners, these fine gentlemen have given some very good advice on, you know, the thought processes. Fuck. Oh my god.
It's okay. We can edit this. Don't worry.
No, it is.
Yeah, I gotta get bleeped at least 3 times already.
That was terrible. Shit. Okay. There's that was shit. Fuck.
This is the next 20 years.
Yeah.
You wanted this.
So these guys did a really great job in giving some wonderful, encouraging, and motivating advice for, you know, self-worth and making sure that you're remembering that despite the fact that we want to try and do this for a living, you still got to just live for yourself and you have to work for yourself and you have to make art for yourself. Even professional artists who are drawing for people all the time and making money and traveling around the world, they are burnt out. And they want to draw for themselves. And sometimes they don't get to do that. So one thing I appreciate about that is that I still get to draw for me when I feel like it. And you have to take time to do that yourself. There's also a pretty good book called Why We Make Art and Why It's Taught. I'm not usually one to recommend books by white men, but his name is Richard Hickman. It's a pretty good book. Yeah, okay, back to the hosts.
And back to you, Darius.
Okay. What was I saying?
These mojitos. Took them out.
It was.
Bro, I only had one.
Yo, they hit. I'm not gonna lie.
I just gave him a second one.
Heavy-handed motherfucker.
Yo, I don't say I feel like I'm back in Puerto Rico, man. Where shit, they were pouring half the damn bottle in that damn glass, man.
I think one's enough for me because I'm wild out the gate.
What was I gonna say?
Damn, I gotta edit out all these.
I guess going back to the medium thing. I mean, so would that also say that developing that skill set I mean, could you also say that AI art is also making people have to up their game now too? Like not just staying in their safe space of like, I do this one thing well and I do it really well.
If it is, that's
I feel-
not fair. Why should they have to? Why should we be threatened by robots when we have a comfortable style and it's not like this is something that we develop overnight. People draw for years.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that it's time for them to up their game. Because there is no game to, especially to art anyways, there is no game to it.
Right.
There is this is what I enjoy, this is what I think it should be. If someone asks for a little change, sure, I'll do it, but this is my creativity outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it is mine.
As someone who doesn't draw realism, like I do semi-realism at best. I'm not a realism artist. That can be a really big deficit for a lot of people because they're like, I want you to draw my mom. And I'm like, okay, here you go. That doesn't look like my mom. Well, it looks like my art. Did you see it when you came in the door and asked for this?
Right. Yeah.
This is my version of your mom.
Yes.
Also, your mom.
Wow.
Nice. Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, the mojitos are really kicking
Okay.
in.
I was thinking
Never again with the mojitos.
I was thinking it.
No, I just spoke her.
Her inner thoughts.
I know.
Yeah.
I was definitely no. You really did. I was thinking it.
Yeah, Jiminy Cricket ain't about the bullshit.
Oh my god.
Yes, but I don't think that there is like a competition between artists and AI art. When you see AI art, you can tell it's AI art. I mean, currently I can, and I'm not like passionate. I don't feel fulfilled. I genuinely don't like AI art. I'm just because I've seen these TikToks of it's like this is what AI would do if like all the Super Mario characters were like super villains, and I was like, that's cool.
But who did it?
Yeah.
Some like this is the thing. I thought about this. I thought about AI as an actor because I was like rehearsing for a play, and I was like, even if an AI bot was starting to act out things that I did, you wouldn't enjoy watching it.
Exactly.
The reason that you go to a George Clooney movie is because of the director and George Clooney.
Right.
It's not because it's it's also the writer. But again, who's the writer? ChatGPT.
Stop.
I don't care
Right.
about ChatGPT writing this.
Right. If I found out that there was those things where it's like we fed all these Christmas movies to a Netflix box to make a movie, and it was like the 12 carols of Carol's First Christmas Carol and Carol or something like that. Like they don't fucking get
Go to White Castle.
story. They don't get the hero's journey. They don't understand drama. You know.
Isn't that just every Lifetime holiday special?
And the movie's kind of hit though.
There's a reason that ghostwriters are disrespected in hip hop and rap.
Mm.
There's a reason that ghostwriters are disrespected.
Wait, here's my question: is it the ghostwriters that are disrespected,
Well, no, I'm saying
or
the
is it
people
the
that
artists
use-
for using
Yes,
the
Yeah.
ghostwriter?
I'm saying the artists that use them.
Shout
are
out to them
disrespected.
OVO boys.
Because sure,
Yeah,
you're rapping the words, cool, but they're not yours.
that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I get it. I mean, I think at this point, I think we said like what we can about artists having, I guess the silver lining, you know.
Yeah, staying power. Like they're not.
I mean,
they're
I
not-
honestly think they have more power in this situation than what they think they do.
I just don't like the people that are dismissing artists like
That's
their struggles.
But again-
that's the part that's hard.
But they were already doing that.
It's not the
They were
part
already
about
doing it.
me being concerned about my livelihood and I'll never get a commission again. It's this.
Mhm.
It's demoralizing just to see how many people just don't give a fuck. That's the part
Yeah.
that sucks. Like fuck these people. You want my art? Like I told people off 1,000 times by this point. Like you don't. I don't give a fuck. Oh. Now you want to support me because I made a good point? No, fuck you. Oh shoot. I'm sorry. No, piss off. Wait, can I say that?
Wait.
I mean, no, you can say we've
have
been
we
cursing
not
this
been fucking cursing this
whole
whole
we
time?
have.
Well, we were bleeping and not bleeping.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway,
It's hard for Simone, guys.
I don't want to get sidetracked because I'm good for that. But it's standing your ground and having self-respect. Like, I told this dude off about AI art shit because he's the one that called me a prima donna. And he was like, well, have you ever thought that maybe people just don't want to work with someone who's just so difficult, and that your skills are not up to par, and that your prices are blah, 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 blah. And then I said, bro, like, fuck your life. Like, I don't even understand. And he tried to get me
excuse
to
me,
my portfolio, and was like, well, let me see, maybe I could figure something out for you.
Wait. He wanted you to send all your intellectual property to him.
He was like, well, maybe I can see, I know people, and I can work with blah, 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 blah.
Yo, this motherfucker trying to scam you.
No, it's not about the scamming. It's that he was trying to turn tail after being disrespectful. And I was like, no. Like, I'm not interested in working with someone who obviously doesn't understand the value of an artist. Like, piss off.
Like, excuse you for, like, knowing your worth, knowing your product, and not taking bullshit for it.
Yeah. So,
I mean, but I feel that's with anything that you do. Like, anything that you make, whether it be, shit, even coming down to, like, baking in restaurants and shit like that. You know, I'm not going to undersell my product when I know my shit is good.
Yes.
I mean, know yourself, know your worth. Coming from Champagne Poppy.
Oh my god. Okay, think about food.
I was thinking about
McDonald's has some of its stuff automated. Yeah. Even, like, how the chicken's cut and all that stuff. Even though people cook that food, it's still frozen. It's still not real chicken. It's still whatever. It's not people that
and it's still
got the
affordable.
fresh stuff, got the fresh tomatoes, got the fresh lettuce, got the fresh meat, went into their own kitchen and cooked that. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to cost the same. Like, there's no way it's going to take over anytime soon.
Well, McDonald's might.
Because it's not going to taste the same.
Fucking AI, fucking customer service.
Well, I think wasn't there like an article about that? Like,
they have like a whole like one restaurant that is there's nobody in it.
No, I think there's still cooks in it.
No. There's nobody in it.
Really?
Yeah, that shit's all done by machines, and it comes down a fucking chute.
That's ridiculous.
Future.
Oh.
Yeah, but going back to like the food thing and the creative thing behind it, it's just like there's a skill set when you're getting like quality food, which is what it can be attributed to quality art. There's a skill set there that you can clearly tell. It might not be as obvious as the fucking steak in front of you, but it's there. When you're looking at art, it's there. Yeah. You can tell when it's artificial. You can tell McDonald's from my grill.
Yeah.
You can tell artificial from my desk, from my desktop. You can tell. And I don't think we're going to be anywhere to the point where it's like indiscernible. Is that a word?
Indiscernible?
I know what you're trying to say.
It is now.
I think indiscernible is the right word.
Where it's difficult to discern which one is which is like a computer and not.
Yeah.
So, I keep getting sidetracked because that's not even what I wanted to say. I wanted to go back to how like people are dismissing artists and how they feel about this.
I mean, this is what we always do. We always go around the world until we get back to the original.
Bro, shit. Bro, Jackie Chan, 180 days.
Bro, the above average scrubs.
This is on brand for us.
Like, people don't know how to relate anymore. They find an easy way to do something that they didn't have to learn, and they're okay with it, and they don't want to listen to people struggle, or like the people who originally did it without like the AI or whatever. They're just like, no, I found an easy way to do it. I'm good now. And you're just complaining because you're getting replaced. People have lost the ability to relate to one another as decent human fucking beings. Because you switch that shit around, that person who you talking to, if they had like a corporate job, or if they were working like just literally any other job like construction, data entry, science engineer, AI takes their shit because they forgot how to unionize. Artists would be like, you probably should have done something creative because that actually, you know, you need to use your brain to like create and make something original instead of following a manual. You're following a manual, a computer can do that.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's true.
learn to relate to someone's problems and stop dismissing another's struggles just because you're not struggling with it.
I think, and that's a very good point. What that really is projection.
Yeah.
You're not happy in your... If you have the time to say that you're a prima donna, to say that you're overreacting about it, to say that your art is not as doesn't cost as much or isn't worth as much, instead of working on whatever is going on in your life, you're probably not having that much going on in your life.
Damn, he just said your life ain't shit.
I didn't. Well, yes, I did. I just didn't want to say it with the curse word because we're not cursing on this podcast. Remember, Sonora?
Piss off.
You mean piss on?
Oh no, that's
God.
That's a whole nother topic.
You go ahead and bleep that out.
Goodness.
Love you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's
sure.
true. You know.
Well, I mean, I guess, what would you say if I'm a young artist, fresh in college, I'm taking my 4-year course, trying to get into the industry?
Let's be more realistic. I'm a young artist. I dropped out of...
You're fucking 18 years old with 100,000 followers on Instagram because you have the time to post.
I ran
every
away
single
from
day.
home.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Well, actually, you probably did because you're queer and they kicked you out.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Family doesn't support you.
we are living
the
in a
use.
world where social media has a big, huge role to play in the life of a small business artist. You have to learn how to market yourself, and if you don't know how to do that, you have to learn how to make friends and go to artist spaces and involve yourself in the artist community and meet people who are going to shows. If you would rather vend in person, find places where you can do tabling and vend, and even if you only go to 1 or 2 shows a year, you went. And it's something, and it's fun, and don't let the likes control you, because that's the problem with the AI images, is that people, it's all about likes, and it's all about followers, and it's all about numbers, and it's all about this, that, and the third, and how easily you can crank out content. And you can't do that. You are not a machine. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. As an artist, you crank out something cool, and I come across it, 9 times out of 10, I'm a splurge.
Literally, I bought all these paintings behind me. Paintings. I don't know what to call
Prints.
it. Shots behind prints. There you go. Behind me at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Bro.
let's go. Give me. He was like, for real? And I was like, yes. For real. I want all of them.
Yeah. You'd
He
be
was
like that.
Thank you so much. I was like,
No,
I'm not even here for you to be happy. I'm here to support you. But like, that's it.
Yeah.
Because it's good stuff.
I mean, in honesty, I feel like you said earlier, if you do put out some fire shit, I mean, it is what it is, you know? Like, you put out some fire shit, they will come and be like, yo,
Yeah.
I want that. Like, you know, and honestly, whenever you do, like, your drawing and you look at it and you're like, man, I did that shit, then it's like, cool, put that shit out there.
Right.
Because somebody's gonna feel the same way. Like, they're gonna be like, oh,
Yep.
they did that shit. They ate that shit. Like,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
how can I get this in my home? Or how can I get this to do whatever I want with it, you know?
Right.
Like, and still promote and respect this person and let them know that, you know, like, I love what we do, and I want people to know that they put out some great content. Or whatever that may be, you know.
BRB.
And make some
'Cause
fucking
honestly, I feel like
business
this-
cards. Make some business
there you go.
cards, guys. You have to make business cards. You have to.
That's it.
Yeah.
And make sure it's something you're proud of. Because if you make something you're proud of, you know it's the shit. It might not reach everybody, but if you make something that you ain't proud of and you know it's not the shit, it ain't reaching nobody.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, if you think about YouTubers, I mean, they're not gonna put shit out that they don't like. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean,
And so I just feel like that's just the shit to do. Like,
Fucking chairs need back support.
yeah.
Or bring your own chair.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Goodness. Well, to wrap this up, we usually have this segment called Brown Bear Bright Sides.
Oh my god.
Which are, we take a moment and reflect on what's the silver lining in all this.
Can I get like somebody to like create a screen wipe of a brown wear bright side?
I mean, hey, contact us.
Oh god, I would just ask ChatGPT to how Dali would make magic.
Like, let me hit some Naruto jutsu signs and have it just summon a brown bear bright side right here.
Like, just have like the something like in the corner and just brown bear. Bright side.
Brown bear bright side.
and you just have the little riff from Mr. Brightside play for like 2.5 seconds so you don't get copyright claimed.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I was about to say I can't afford that.
You just hit him with the boom, 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 and you stop.
Yeah, as the guest, you get to go first.
If you build it, they will come. So build it,
Yes, Mom.
and even if it falls down and even if it looks like shit, build it anyway. Wait, is that good enough? No.
No, I mean, it's whatever you want to say.
It's your quote.
Silver lining, yeah.
It's your maximum opus.
It's Madam Opus.
Oh, no, bro. I'm not literal.
It's your Maximus Prime.
It's prime time.
Oh, God.
Anyway,
We
moving on.
need to end this. Yeah, I guess I'll go next. There are going to be people that don't understand, that are having problems in their life. But there are also going to be people that understand, that have empathy, and will splurge on you as an artist, no matter what, because they understand that there's something different about you as an artist. So don't worry.
Be happy.
Was that you?
Are you starting yours? I'm just kidding.
I
I'm just kidding.
Is you just be happy?
I'm sorry, because he said, "Don't worry, be happy."
No, I know it. We all know.
Oh, no.
He didn't get it, so I had to explain
No,
it. To him.
no, they knew.
He knew.
Drop a like if you knew.
I need
Tell
more.
us in the comments.
I need to be given more credit. Carry on, Darius.
I would just say that life's gonna throw curveballs at you no matter what you do. But if you're really passionate about this and this is what brings you joy, then fuck the noise and just keep doing what you're doing. Keep striving to be the best that you can be in your field, no matter what it is. And yeah, it's gonna be adversity, but it's just gonna make your shit that much stronger. So.
All right, thank you guys for joining us on today's. I'm just kidding. So, listen, there's a lot of folks out there who think they're the shit, but most of the time, they're all just farts in the wind. See y'all next time!
Oh,
Okay. Well,
Did he get up and leave?
yeah.
he did. Goodness.
Let's get
I
Instagram.
had a line for this.
Let's get Instagram. real quick.
Yeah, guys. Well, you know how this goes. Keep doing what y'all doing, and at the end of the day, just keep shooting above average.
I love
That's
that.
great.
That's so good.
That's very good.
That's so good. No, we're not leaving on
You
that.
gave
Simone,
him
shout out
one
your Instagram.
fucking mojito.
Right. We did.
Shout out your Instagram, Simone, so we know where to follow you. as an artist.
If you would like to follow my art page, Susu J Designs on Instagram, or you can follow me at Fox with 2 X's Promenade.
Cool.
Twitter's
cool,
apparently
cool.
dying.
Shut
You
up.
can follow me there if you want to, but
Do you have a blue check? Did you pay
Thanks,
for that?
Elon.
Did you pay for
I'm
that?
sorry. Do I have the? Never mind. I was almost extremely offensive. Please go.
Oh, Jesus. Damn.
Well, again, guys, keep
Go
doing
ahead.
what y'all doing and shooting above average, like always. We'll catch y'all later.
See y'all later.
Bye.
So,